Welcome to Steamy Side Hustle. I am Dana. I'm a USA Today bestselling author, a developmental editor, and I am the chief storyteller at Danger Tales. This is my audio newsletter, and y'all, I cannot stop smiling because I'm officially on number 3. They are pre-written, and your girl is starting to do this in bulk. Who is she? I'm about to pat myself on the back. Y'all, I'm so tickled. Listen, it's only 3. You probably saying, Dana, you probably shouldn't be getting so excited. But I'm going to take what I can get, okay? This is number 3, so here we go. If you have been around for the past 2 episodes, I feel like I'm a little bit nuts for being so excited. But I sat down and I wrote 2 episodes in one day, y'all. Okay. Oh, okay. This is my audio newsletter. Listen, you get all the giggles, all the side commentary. You get everything I was thinking when I was writing this newsletter, because that's what this is for. Okay. Go ahead, get your tea, get your coffee. If it's like, you may want to get your wine, and we're going to get into this week's edition of Steamy Side Hustle, which I realize is now, you can always visit me online at dangertales.com, because I didn't say that in the last episode. Y'all, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. So here we go. This week's newsletter is about if I had to start over from scratch. So if this is the first time you've been here, I'm reading my newsletter and adding in additional commentary. Know that I have a tendency to edit while I write, so I will stop and edit from time to time. And, we're just here to have a good time. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. So, you already heard about why I'm starting over with this email list in this audio newsletter. If you missed the first couple of emails, catch up on my unexpected email hiatus of why I almost quit and my rant about romance being more than smut. And you can actually find those if you're anywhere here linked in the description box, or you can go to dangertales.com. That's DANJATALES.com and see the other editions there. Here we go. Let's keep going. It's got me thinking about the topic of starting over in general. So today I wanted to share what I would do if I was starting over with writing romance novels full time. Right now, I'd consider myself a full-time novelist writing under a few pen names. I love exploring different genres, and a book coach helping writers write addictive novels. So I don't think I've said this before. So I have multiple pen names, even though right now, if you are a client and you are listening to my private podcast as I do my 10K project, you're going to hear soon. I've really been thinking a lot about the fact that I do have multiple pen names. Part of my journey has been that I learn by doing. So I'm a developmental editor who is also a full-time writer. I write to learn the different skills and the different techniques, and I love doing that. But what I'm realizing now as I embark on this 10K project, it helps me to see like how much my bandwidth is divided because I do have multiple pen names. Y'all, I have a lot. Don't ask. Please don't ask. That might be a topic that I address one day. Let me know in the comments if y'all want to hear about that. Okay. Y'all know I got to have a list. I need a list of topics, y'all, to keep this party going. So here we go. So I write full time and I'm a book coach. I also teach courses. Right now, and at the time of this recording, I'm doing a challenge to teach writers how to write a full project with AI. And really, it's about this thing of dropping the barriers and helping you to get to writing the end. Because what I've learned is for so many people, it's not the actual task of it. It's something that's going on up here. And we got to bust through that to see that, hey, it's not that bad. And there's so many different tools and things that you can access to help you get the job done, right? So that's what I do. But if I could travel back to but if I could time travel back to when I decided I wanted to write romance novels full time, here's what I would do. And I have a whole bunch, but I'm only highlighting 3. Number 1, establish a regular writing habit. I thought I had to sit down for hours a day and write thousands of words daily. So I spent hours writing and rewriting words. Now I know that writing 500 to 1,000 words every day can get the job done. If I didn't do it, y'all will wonder something's wrong, okay? Sitting for a solid 45 minutes a day of writing is all I needed. This one habit was a game changer and all I needed. And it was. I always referred to myself as a binge writer. And what I meant by that was like I would go without writing for long periods of time and then I would just write until the book was done. And the more that my business grew, the more that my kids had busy social calendars and traveling because my daughter was in dance and traveling because my son was in sports and doing all of those things, that didn't work. And I was still trying to do it. And I started having negative effects on my physical health because of it. And it honestly led to number 2, which is embrace technology. I remember frowning at dictation, AI, and ghostwriters because I thought I needed to do it the right way. These days, I embrace whatever allows me to express myself and bring my stories to life. And I just said that, like, I started having health issues. I started having like what they call like, I don't know the technical term, but like tennis elbow. I started getting arthritis in my hands or very bad hand cramps. I started having stress build up in my body, particularly in my shoulders, like to the point where I just had like almost like chronic pain. And when I would go to the doctors, get x-rays, get all these tests, nothing was there. They didn't see anything. And I was constantly in pain. And it really taught me how I needed to have balance. And it wasn't until I taught myself how to do dictation that it just opened my eyes, where I stopped frowning down on something that I did not understand. And I realized, even for myself and for clients, like, if that's what works for you, it's what works for you. And who am I to say different? If it's not hurting anyone, it's not hurting you, it's not hurting the other person. Like have clients that work with ghostwriters. If you guys are in a contractual relationship and it works for both of you, then who am I to say different? I've worked with ghostwriters before. And even when I first worked with ghostwriters, I was a little bit like, oh my goodness. Like, as if working with a ghostwriter was going to take away all my creative energy. It didn't actually. It multiplied it. But it wasn't until I read and listened to what I think is one of the best books ever. And it's so sad because I'm not going to remember the title of it, but that doesn't matter. It was the Will Smith book. When I listened to that book, I was in awe. I was just like, they had a choir and he was telling a story like I could see it like it was a movie. He had music and he had hip hop and it was just so almost tangible. And then when I watched, y'all didn't even sign up for this. Y'all, this is a part of the experience. Then when I watched his YouTube, like, it kind of felt like it was a documentary of him journeying to finishing the book, that as a writer and an editor, I noticed something. Number one, I noticed that the man didn't even plot the novel. Y'all wait. Y'all may know this. I didn't think about it. I never had a reason to think about it. I've had a couple of clients that are nonfiction. That's not really my jam. Normally when people do it, it's just because they want to work with me and we work well together. Okay. But so I didn't know. Now I know plenty of ghostwriters that do nonfiction. But the point is, at the time, I just didn't pay much attention to it. So when I was watching his documentary, I number one realized he didn't even outline or plot his story. He recorded all the stuff he wanted to talk about, sent it to someone else, and the someone else came up with the plot. Now, when he was being pressed to do chapters and to write, he was doing something, but he was in a room with other people doing something. So the writing, and then that was him editing chapters that someone else had. Listen, I'm not in the man's business, but the point is that was a collaborative process. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was still authentically him, and it was still his voice and his tone. But he had people around him that were amazing at doing what they did, the same way he's amazing at doing what he does. And that was an eye-opener for me. And it really helped me to lower this. Listen, I'm now in a do you boo zone. Maybe I have a sign like, beep, beep, come over here, do you boo zone. But I'm in the do you boo zone. And the do you boo zone is like, listen, do what works for you. If you're not hurting anyone, it allows you to express yourself. It allows you to have the creative freedom that you want. Because here's what I've realized. There are aspects of the writing process that's just not our jam. Some people are great at plotting. Some people are not. Some people are great at writing prose. Some people are not. Some people are amazing at writing dialogue. Some people are not. And then people will, I think the normal way, air quote normal, air quote regular way of thinking about it is just keep on hammering that baby till you do 1,000,000 drafts because you got to do all of it yourself. And my thing is, why? Why? If you're a person like me, that you have 1,000,000 stories in your head, we're not even counting the one that's in my notebook or the ones that are in my idea bucket on my phone and in my computer, or the series that are just right over there that just killing me. Like I have one series that I know it's going to be 48 books. We are not pounding away. Listen. I want every opportunity that I can to write those books. And so it just, again, I'm going off on a tangent. It turned this into the do you boo zone. Okay? Do you boo zone. But it was really to embrace technology. So it was a combination of teaching myself how to do dictation. I don't do dictation like other people do. I couldn't get that, but I got a version of it that allowed me to do it enough to me, heal my hands and relieve the ache in my elbows and my shoulders. And that helped to relieve a lot of that pressure. And I think it also brought the stress level down enough that the rest of it kind of just went away. It healed. And I'm thankful to God for that. But it did take me looking at other options because not writing wasn't an option. And that meant exploring other options is what I'm saying. Okay, let's keep going. Or we're going to be here all day. These days, I embrace whatever allows me to express myself and bring my stories to life. Number 3 is skip the socializing. I spent hours agonizing over social events, conferences, writer groups, etc. I want to go back and give the younger Dana a pass to be her introverted self. Listen, y'all, you will watch this and you will probably think there is no way that woman is introverted. And I will say, lies you tell. doing even this. This is all me, y'all. I'm like a burst of energy, and it takes me twice the amount of time to get my equilibrium back. And doing social events, like, they give me like almost low key an anxiety. Like, it makes my mind spin. I don't like staying long. And it's even to the point where, because my husband is very social, when we go to do events or go to do social events, we kind of just have this pact that he's okay with the fact that after a while, he will find me in a corner somewhere reading or in the car reading. And I'm okay with waiting until the party is over, because that's when he usually wants to leave. And so that was something that really just stopped me from doing so much, because I felt like I had to do that to build a career. And so, there's no one size fits all. Nope. If I was starting over with my writing career, I'd find ways to connect with my fans and my peers in ways that lead to a less anxiety and more growth. And here, I would say too, that doesn't mean like I do none. I am intentional. I found that if I find ways to have the socialization with something that is growth oriented, that it makes the balance of it feel more worth it. So usually I go to conferences where I can have the socializing, but have great workshops. I will spend most of my time in those, and maybe like a fraction of maybe 5% or less of the time interacting. But I do get with my peers, because usually that's the only time we get to see each other, and I'm aware of that. And so I have found ways to balance that out. So I'd give myself the freedom to be me. And that's what I really had to embrace, which is also what we talked about in the first episode of this audio newsletter. So hope it's insightful and useful. Okay. These experiences are how I help, because I am a writer, and that's not in this newsletter, but all of these things, I think what's happened is because of me being a writer and me experiencing these situations, I bring that skill set to the table. I think I have a different, understanding, because I've been there. And it doesn't mean that I don't work with people who are like social butterflies, because I have people who are, but it also means that I am just that my bag of tools is substantial because of my experiences. So hope it's insightful and useful to see what's changed for me over the years. I'd love to hear if you have any aha moments or follow-up questions from this email. So you know the drill. Go down to the comments wherever you are and put what your aha moments were. Is there some things that you would go back and tell your old self about pursuing your goal of being a full-time writer or a writer in general? Let us know. And also, if there are any topics you would like for me to bring to the audio newsletter, then definitely let me know. If you can do your girl a solid, don't forget to subscribe to wherever you see this or follow me, and visit me online at danjatales.com, DanJatales.com. And it's probably in the description bar somewhere. It should be. If it's not, help your girl out. And I will close with this. If you have a story in you, small, it could be a short story. Grand, it could be a trilogy or this epic fantasy novel. It is your job and your responsibility to bring that into the world. And I hope that something in this edition gave you permission to do it in whatever way that allows you to walk that thing out. Okay? So That's it for this edition. Your girl is out. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you hopefully sooner than later. Take care and happy writing. Goodbye. I've been down so in love like I've been down so in love like I've been down so